a guest on the line. Listen, my senior citizens, I'm not saying senior citizen. I said seasoned citizens. Yes, I have Mr. Jim Linehan on the line. He's the technology editor for the AARP magazine. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, it is my pleasure to have you on. Tech tips on how to master our smartphones. And I'm telling you something. I'm glad you are on this call with me because I don't have to call my grandkids no more to walk me through on how to use my smartphone.
Well, grandkids are a great resource, so don't discount that. But we are happy to help in any way we can.
Right, exactly. Now, Jim, tell us about your tips for getting the news out for the day, and also what apps that we can help find, like to find deals. And you know how we are always on our cell phones, social media savvy. How can we take smart, get smart tips and tech tips on how to master these smartphones?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, smartphones are prevalent. Pretty much everybody has them these days. Mm-hmm. And what we really try to focus on with our annual Tech Made Easy guide is, some tips and tricks that can make it work better for you. You mentioned, I think, news and information. So one thing that can be really frustrating today when, you're on your phone and you're scrolling through social media, and you see an article you want to read, you tap on it, and it says access denied because you don't have a subscription to that particular news source, right?
Absolutely.
You can get an app on your phone. It's called a news aggregator. So a couple of examples of those are Apple News or Google News. Download those apps for a single subscription fee. You get access suddenly to hundreds of news outlets. So it's a great way to, avoid that constant frustration that you may have. You mentioned deals. One of the great things with our phones is, with the apps available, so many retailers now and restaurants and so on, they want you to use the apps. It benefits them. So in order to entice us as consumers, they're offering deals that are only on the apps. So if there's a certain store that you like or a certain restaurant that you like, make sure you download their app, sign up for their loyalty program there, and then suddenly you'll find deals that weren't accessible to you before. So again, super easy to do. Another thing that you really can do with your smartphone in particular that we encourage everybody to learn, become familiar with now are these payment apps. Mm-hmm. So there are things like Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, and so on. It seems like pretty much everybody's using them now. Venmo has even become a verb, right? So, Venmo me that money. So the good news is it's very easy to set these up. You download the app, easily can connect it to your bank account. But the one thing we want to make sure people understand is if you send money to the wrong person because somebody has a similar sounding name or that sort of thing, it can be very difficult. It can be even impossible to recover that money. Mm-hmm. So we always advise people sending money to somebody be absolutely sure. Double, triple check. Take a moment. Take a deep breath. Whatever you need. Make sure you have that right username. The safeguards in place in some of these apps where you enter their phone number, that sort of thing, so that you are certain that money's going to the right place.
Absolutely. Now, Jim, also, we have our smartphones in our hands. We driving and we want to be safe. But when we come to a complete stop, what's the latest car tech to keep you safer on the roads?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the one that we found is really, really useful, especially, for older drivers, is something many new cars have now called adaptive cruise control. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different than the cruise control you may be used to, where you set a speed and then if you suddenly hit a pocket of traffic, you have to disengage the cruise control and then re-engage it later. This is pretty much like set it and forget it technology. It's really useful. It uses sensors on your car to detect when you're in traffic situations and then automatically slows you down to maintain a safe distance. Then it will automatically speed up the car again when the traffic clears. It really is a great way, once you get used to it, to be sure that you are driving safely, and it's definitely less stressful driving.
All right. Now, what can we go to learn more about how to use our smartphones and safety tech tips?
Yeah, so if you're an AARP member, check out the latest issue of AARP, the magazine, where we have our Tech Made Easy guide. But anybody can go to aarp.org/tech, and you will find lots of useful articles, how-tos, videos, all sorts of resources available that help you just use the technology that's important in our lives today and, use it better better, make it more meaningful to you.
All right. And also another thing, Jim, how can we go and sign up for AARP? Because, we have a lot of, like I said, seasoned citizens that's listening. They may have not went in and signed up for AARP. And thank goodness that I did last year.
Well, thanks very much for that. Yes, so go to AARP.org where you can sign up for a membership. You can get the first year for a discount of $12 auto pay. And, we understand when it comes to things like technology how important that is to our members. And they tell us that they want help understanding technology better. So it's one of the great benefits you get with AARP membership. We also have discounts on some technology-related areas such as cell phone plans and ID theft protection.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Any final remarks, Jim?
Well, just that we encourage people to not be afraid of technology. One of the simplest things you can do is just start small. Find things that are important to you that will make your life easier, and just focus on those and you master that before moving on to something else. Don't get overwhelmed.
All right. Tech Made Easy with AARP, the magazine. Jim, thank you so much for calling in and telling our listeners all about tech tips on how to master our smartphones. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.